Can you do needs analysis by email? That's what I'm going to talk about next. So the short answer is no. Do not do it. And now I'm going to explain why. So the best way to do a discovery meeting or a needs analysis meeting is to actually go on site and be in front of the customer and have a discussion with them. If that's not possible because of geographical distances or they just don't want to see you, WebEx or Zoom, whatever it is that you use is fine. Over the phone is fine. Email sucks for discovery calls because a discovery is not supposed to be a questionnaire. Sometimes there are questionnaires that you send, they fill them out, but that's usually like ahead of time, or like it's not really the best way. A discovery is supposed to be a conversation between yourself and your customers and your account manager and your customers. The reason it's a discussion is because when you're having a chat with someone, it's a lot different than interrogating them through questions. You send them, here's 10 questions, they answer them the way they understood the questions, which may not always be the same way you meant to ask the questions. And then you go into a back and forth. I was having a discussion with a sales engineer who's new to the job. He's like an experienced professional who's never been a sales engineer before. So he has some experience in dealing with people. But when it came to sales engineering, he was going back and forth via email with a customer. And in the end, the manager interjected and said, you know what, I'm done. We're not going to answer any more questions. We've answered enough questions. But in fact, they haven't answered maybe half as much, let's be conservative, half as much as they would have answered if they were in person or over the phone. Email takes time from someone. It takes time from you to write it. It takes time from the customer's perspective to read the answer and then provide a thorough answer to your question. You write the question, that's easy, and then the customer has to think about it, make sure he understood your question the way you wrote it, the way you actually meant it, and write a paragraph response for it. And then, usually speaking, at least it is for me, when I ask a question and I get a response, this brings up a bunch more questions. So there's a back and forth. If you're in person or over the phone, you can have that discussion. Over email, it will sound like you've been asking a lot of questions and it's more of an interrogation than a discussion. So my advice to you, and it sometimes happens, sometimes you go through a discovery and then you go back home and you realize that, there's a bunch of questions that I should get answers to, especially if you're new and you don't know exactly what your product does and what it solves, or like you're still picking up all the features. It happens. It happens to me still, because generalist SEs cover a broad spectrum of products. So it happens that if you come up with a bunch more questions, you can send one question or two questions via email. But as soon as it becomes a conversation through email, now it's just taking too much of everybody's time, and pick up the phone and call. Sometimes customers don't want to talk to you. And if that's the case, you tell them, like, I understand you don't want to talk to me, but you can either keep answering these emails, which take a lot longer, or we can be efficient about it and have a discussion over the phone. Now, you can't abuse that as well, but the point is that you're trying to serve the customer. You're not trying to steal away his time or her time. You're trying to help them achieve their goal. And you need to do that. If they want your help, they're going to need to jump on a call. If they're not willing to jump on a call, that means you're not really in a good position to sell them anything anyways, because they're not answering your questions. How are you going to provide a solution to their problem? If you go to the doctor and you refuse to tell him your symptoms, how is he going to diagnose it? Right? So think about that. And you can always be gentle and nice while asking for a phone call. It doesn't have to be jump on the phone call now, or I need to answer you through a phone call, or I'm not gonna send you emails. No, it's a mutually beneficial situation where you actually go and try to help them, and that's as far as it goes. And most customer meetings are of that type, mutually beneficial, and the goal is to work together, not against each other. So if you like this video, subscribe, like. If you don't like it, What don't you like about it? Actually, let me know. Is it my face? I can't do anything about that. But other things, I might be able to help. So like, subscribe, hit the bell thingamajig, and comment below. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys later.